paper.
Take a look at it.
But if you want to start a business...
Oh my...
What's up, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today I am going to do the United States of America. The United States has a new president. It is Donald J. Trump. The election on November 8th was truly spectacular, and I am truly hopeful for these next 4 years, possibly 8 years if he wins re-election. In this series, I'm going to play as the new president, and basically I'm going to try and see how good it's going to go. I am going to... A few goals that I have: I'm going to strengthen relations with a lot of countries such as China, India, Afghanistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, make an alliance with them. Maybe fix up some of the problems in Africa. And I'm also definitely going to be concentrating on the economy. This is going to possibly be one of my best series. That's what I'm going to try to make it as. But obviously... Turkey was the best series I've ever had. Dude, that one was awesome. Yeah, I do have a lot of hope. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and do a few adjustments. We're going to go ahead and put in a few laws, put in a few taxes, and then manage some of our things before we head out. So, we're going to go ahead and subsidize our entire food sector with about $50 million each. We have a massive deficit. We need to fix that up. Alright, so, what are we going to do as our first order of business? We did form up our cabinet. Let's go ahead and check on immigration. We're going to go ahead and day one, we're going to go ahead and introduce a law for immigration. We're going to go ahead and get the illegal out. Construction of a border wall. I don't know how that's going to really work. I don't know why it's saying like 30 walls. Construction of the wall. Is that like in kilometers? Construction that has received yes votes, 1,132. So I could try one. It's going to cost $238,000 and then $1 million over the next 5 years. One. Okay, actually, let's just wait because we only have 49% approval. Establish aid. We're going to go ahead and give a basic subsidy so we can return some of the illegals to our own country. Let's see if we can get a reform off of it too. Integration policy, opened, restrictive, and monitored. No, we're going to go ahead and go with the basic subsidy. Okay, we are going to get that passed, so that's going to be our first bill that we're going to be able to get passed. Let's go ahead and look at our taxation. What do we need to do? Do we need to create taxes? Do we need to declare a tax amnesty? Small offenses? Ugh. Ugh. God. Oh. Cancel. Tax on large fortunes, no. We don't want to hurt growth. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and reduce taxes on the middle class. Democrats are heavily against it, but the Republicans are obviously for it. Also, we have the independents on our side. Let's go ahead and look at our industry. What do we need to look for? We're going to go ahead and look at our automobile industry. We're going to go ahead and subsidize that by about 120 million, 121 million. Building, housing, and roadway. This is one of the biggest things. I like to concentrate on this one. We're going to go ahead and give it more growth. Chemicals, we're going to go ahead and give that one to 50 million. Income tax, it's about 11%. I'm going to go ahead and grow it a little more. Tires, water supply. Let's go ahead and get that trade balance up. We make 56 billion in sales, but 431 million in profits. Steel, subsidize that by 200 million. Rare earth oxides. We're going to go ahead and give this one about $50 million in subsidies. We're going to go ahead and exonerate it. And then we're going to go ahead and put a tariff on it, about a 1% tariff. And this time we're not going to leave the WTO. Pharmaceutical industry, you know, my man Bernie Sanders won't be too happy with that. Fighter planes, gold. We're going to go ahead and produce more gold. Give that one more subsidies. Maybe exonerate it, see what happens. Bottled water, we're good on bottled water. Aircraft carrier, maybe let's go ahead and produce more aircraft carriers. This is give that 70 million and then exonerate that sector. What do you need? Steel, electronic components, and uranium. We're going to go ahead and look at what kind of energy we need, which we're also going to have a strict energy policy as the United States. Bauxite, I don't think we can do that because that is a raw material. Consumer electronics, we're going to... Actually, no, we're good on it. Components, we're not good on that, so we're going to go ahead and give that a $100 million subsidy. We're going to exonerate it, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of industry. We're going to go to service now. We're going to go to advertising. We're going to give that about $50 million. You know what? Actually, give the entire all of these services, give them about $40 million in subsidies. Then let's go to energy. This is basically what we're going to go ahead and do it with energy. Fossil electricity, we're going to go ahead and reduce that. Fossil electricity that intoxicates the environment and we just don't need it. We're going to go ahead and switch over to nuclear energy because nuclear energy produces a lot. It's very efficient and it's just good. The only problem with it is the only problem with nuclear energy is that it blows up and you get radiation, you get hundreds of thousands of people dying, which is not the best thing, but I mean, in an environment I can increase funding on the nuclear threat. So, first order of business, we're going to go ahead and dismantle 443 fossil electricities. That's going to be about $2 billion immediately, or actually every year, and then $10 billion over the next 5 years. That's going to take about 4 months, take about 202,000 people out of our 3.4 million manpower pool. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to have on the dot 125,000 fossil electricity plants. That did increase our stuff. I think we're going to go ahead and wait to build another nuclear plant. But we're going to go ahead and look. Since we are going to be going over to nuclear energy. What are you? Manpower. Maybe we can nationalize it. Oh, man. It's way too much. We're going to go ahead and subsidize nuclear energy with about $120 million. Because we are going to be concentrating on switching over to nuclear energy. I think our second would have to be, no, not wind, solar energy. Because solar energy actually does, like, produce a lot. So we're going to go ahead and give that about not a 500. I'm gonna give that about a $50 million subsidy. Oh yeah, uranium. We're gonna go ahead and subsidize uranium too. Oil. We have a negative $438 billion trade balance, but we're not making any sales or profits off of it. We have no productivity index. Yeah, we have 1 million people working in the industry. Jesus. Should we privatize it? Oh no, we're not making any money off of it. We're gonna go ahead and wait. Let's exonerate it. Oh, we can't. Oh yeah, there's no activity. We're gonna go ahead and subsidize it by about 100 million. What? Okay, oil is messed up. Maybe we can put a tariff on it. Put a 3% tariff on that. So this is our first order of action. Purchasing power is happy. Agriculture is obviously happy. We have happiness and energy independence. Industry is awesome. We have some people not liking our social and integration anti-racism policies, but we're still up by 18 points. Let's go ahead and check our inflation. We're good. We don't need to mess with the interest rate just yet. Yeah, and we have that bug. Let's go ahead and rehabilitate some housing. About 60,000 houses? No. We're gonna go ahead and do 14,000. What do we need to do about welfare in the housing sector? We're definitely gonna be raising this. Maybe my long-term goal is gonna be about $500. Rent increases. No, I don't think we're gonna mess with that. And then state aid, we're gonna go for that. We're gonna go for reduced income tax so we can allow people to get a house whenever their income isn't that good, because we don't want to be a welfare state. We don't want to be sitting there giving everyone everything, but I mean we still want to help out because I'm not exactly the biggest conservative, but I mean I still believe that we should be conservative about finances, but social and welfare, we should help people out whenever they need it. We shouldn't just sit there and completely ignore them. But we shouldn't get to the point where we're sitting there giving everyone free toilet paper, free food, free this, free that. I mean, it's just a waste of money. Because people aren't going to become independent, and you're not going to be able to be free, and you're going to be sitting there sucking off of taxpayers' thumb, and you're going to be sucking off the government's thumb. So it's a lose-lose situation. War on terror in the Middle East. So, I believe this episode and the next episode after this is going to be concentrated on internal affairs, and then maybe like 3 and 4. I think after episode 2 is whenever we're really going to start concentrating on the outside world, because we're just really just trying to like get our finances in order before we start worrying about Mexico, them dirty Mexicans. Just kidding, that's a joke. Don't unsubscribe, that's a joke. We're going to start worrying about the Middle East and Iran and obviously China. Then obviously we're definitely going to start expanding our influence down here in Southeast Asia. We're gonna definitely start talking to Malaysia, and Vietnam too, maybe Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, India. We're probably gonna try to get an alliance with. Afghanistan, they don't seem to like us. Maybe we can just cut off funding. And maybe we're gonna try to get involved in Libya, because we did do some nasty shit down there in 11. And it's not that fun right there. So a few last things before we go. Transportation. Let's go ahead and build some infrastructure because we're definitely going to want to start building up our infrastructure. Let's go ahead and build 151 miles of highway, and that's it. If you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. The United States of America is going to be a great series, and I am truly hopeful for these next 4 years under President Trump. And go ahead. If you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Honestly, I am truly hopeful about these next 4 years, and hopefully everything goes well. And I'll see you guys in episode 2.